5, Bama up 16-7. Tolentino trying to back his way down against Nelson, gets into the paint. Pushed off the block, gives it off, batted away Diabate, back to Tolentino, gives it off to a teammate inside, shot no good, rebound fought for, scramble on the deck, picked up by Sears, flips it ahead to Holloway, we got numbers, gives it off, Diabate, scoop shot no, pogo stick, able to put it back in for 2. 18-11, Bama leading with the ball, Nelson to the rack, lays it up, wouldn't go, but got pair for the Crimson Tide. First one up, either. 13-12 remaining in the half. Free throws good by Nelson. Round and saved by Asheville, and they will run the other way. Bama fills in defensively, challenged well by Nelson. Partial block, 15-point lead over Asheville. Driving and having it taken away by Sherrill was Jordan Marsh. Bama runs the other way. Reitzel lays it up, got it to go. Nelson into the front court, being defended by Gant. Nice look inside Sears. Will bring it front court. Finds Nelson on the far wing. Grant trying to break down to the defender, goes baseline, spins towards the paint, feeds it off, and that is a flush from Clifford Omori. Boy, it's fun seeing those two play together, isn't it?
Forward from the logo. Won't go. Steep. Mark Sears. Off the iron for 3. Grant Nelson flew in for the rebound.
I look to him continue to do even more.
Only delayed by about an hour and Diabate tried to feed Reitzel. Here's Nelson with the steal, and he'll go to the line.
The ball so well. It's a shocker to see the struggling from both sides. He's early on in this season.
Now this is more like the pace we expected between Nate Oates and Brian Hodson's teams. Look at Grant Nelson. Too strong.
Strong finish. Beautiful crossover. Getting to the deck and finishing into traffic. Wow.
Underway in the second half. Alabama with the opening possession, leading by 3.
3 guards in this lineup alongside with Nelson and Omori. There's a lot of versatile things you can do with this group.
Nelson feeding Omori. That's a great start to the second half for the top. Omori with the rebound. Mark Sears to Nelson. Grant Nelson with the soft touch. 5-point game. Crimson Tide just one of its last 7 from the floor. Reitzel. And another 3 before Nelson comes flying in.
Wow. Grant.
Julian a little out of control. Can't connect there. Down by 7. Roby Julian back on the floor. Leading scorer against Nelson. Leaves it short. Nelson with a rebound. Darian Reed. Hello!
Excellent decision. That was all created with the penetration of Mark Sears. Turnover off his own foot.
Quickly into Julian. Won't go, and the Crimson Tide get it back. Trying to build on a 2-point lead. Grant Nelson makes it 4.
That's the move that if you're Alabama, you have to do. Get the high percentage shots. Great job there by Rashard Marshall, catching that ball high on the alley-oop, coming down, gathering himself, and putting it in.
Nice feed from Nelson to Sears. Won't go, and a foul. Taron Todd. Denied by Reed. Basketball back. Marshall fighting in. Couldn't get it.
Arkansas State have another defensive stand and a run in them to get back into this game. The momentum has flipped over to the Tide.
Latrell Reitzel Jr. makes it 10.
A rare drive all the way to the cup from Latrell Reitzel, and a great decision.
Mark Sears, right to Reed.
Beautiful play. Mark Sears with the left-handed alley-oop. Darian Reed throwing down the hammer.
Crimson Tide back to a 9-point advantage. 2:52 still to go, and everyone learning the name Darion Reed.
The sign play coming out of the break. The alley-oop to Darion Reed going to the top shelf.
Mark Sears. Off the mark, and there's a tough defensive rebound by Todd before a whistle was blown. Today, 2 of 4 at the line. Knocks down the first.
And we are underway from the home of the Tide, Coleman Coliseum. Omori will hand it off to Stevenson. Backdoor look is to Nelson. He throws it home, and a great start for Alabama. Back out to Nelson, top of the arc. Grant with a couple of dribbles and a handoff to Stevenson. Jarrett on the drive, gives it back to Nelson in the paint, got fouled.
Couple three-point attempts, this time 2 free throws for Grant.
First free throw was good, so too the second. McNeese with a lead over Bama early. 17-30 and ticking. Time left in the opening half. Sears on the wing, looks for the backdoor cutter, and Nelson drives in, had it blocked, but a foul is correctly called on
Bama. I think a much improved defensive team from a year ago where they finished the standpoint on the defensive end. I think that number could go up with the personnel they have.
10-6. We got 16:30 to go in the opening half. Nelson finds Stevenson in the corner. His 3 is no good. Rebound tipped by Omori. Nelson lost it, got it back, tried to get a timeout as he was falling out of bounds, and I believe he did. Smart play, especially on the defensive end. Near corner 3 ball, rims out, no good for the Cowboys. It was missed by Richards, and Bama clears it and comes the other way. Sears going downhill into the lane, hits the trailer Nelson. Spots up, 3, bottom.
He's worked on his shot in the offseason. A little bit different shooting motion than we saw a year ago. He hasn't shot it well the first couple of games of the season. Caught it in rhythm. Mark Sears once again setting his teammates up.
Eitzel, Latrell cut off, feeds it to Holloway. Up top, they give it back to Ade. 3, in and out, no good. Put back, good though, by Grant Nelson. He was playing the 2-man game out high with Holloway. Rebounded the miss and laid it in. Picked up by Bama. Here comes the Tide the other way. Reitzel with it, hesitates, looks right, dribbles right, flips it over to Philon. Hesitation move, stops at the free throw line. Nelson, 3, bottom. Grant Nelson.
Into a man, and Alabama has settled for some deep contested 3s against it.
Great feed inside, the cut by Nelson, the look from Jaron Stevenson.
The great block out by LeBaron Philon. Talk about the freshman just doing the fundamental things, kind of a veteran type play as the guard blocks out.
Great backdoor look from Nelson to Stevenson. An incredible catch in traffic. He lays it in for 2. And
high degree of difficulty on the pass. That had to get past a couple of Cowboys, but Grant Nelson able to take it, take some contact, and get to the line. Alabama
hits the first free throw.
And that was deep. He was matched up on Cliff Amore. He pulled up from about 26, 28 feet.
Reitzel in the corner with 5:45 to go. This is as close as we've been since about the 10-minute mark of the first half. Driving, Reitzel gives it off to Amori. Now to Nelson. Spins, kicks, corner. Reitzel, 3, bottom. Thank you. Much needed. Bank first 3 right there from Latrell Reitzel, who now has 15. Advantage is down to 6 once more. Here's Philon with it out high. Down low to Nelson. Throws a pass into the corner.
Looks now going inside and having success getting to the line.
Point number we've got right now. Left corner. Stevenson back out to Sears. Sears with it on the left wing. Mark directing traffic. Skips it over to Nelson. 8 on the shot clock. Sears with it at 6. At 5 inside. Nelson catches it, lays it in for 2. Sears, who will run it down with the shot clock ticking down now to 11 seconds. Sears picks up his dribble, gives it off to Stevenson at 7. At 6, back to Sears. Thought about a 3, drives and dishes. Stevenson, 3 ball, no. Rebound though by Nelson, and a foul's going to be whistled on McNeese. Hasn't scored at all in the last 2 minutes until now. Second free throw up. That one's perfect as well. 1:47 to go. Philon with it. Looking left, gives it off to Nelson. Philon driving into the paint, puts up the runner and got it to go.
Big 7'2" Berg wants to get it back to one of his guards. Harris trying to get it to Berg himself.
And this Alabama
Inside at 10 now. Stevenson an open look. Falcone 6'11".
they are enormous.
Both teams committed to playing man defense. Kaufman ran against Nelson.
Well, they're letting those guys play. Really physical inside.
Enough in the win Monday night. Wants more possessions, more threes.
McNeese did a good job with that press. It slowed them down. They switched everything. McNeese, one of those teams that they're tough off the bounce, but defensively did a good job.
That's why he's missed only one shot this year.
Shot glass.
Sears. Reitzel, their top three-point shooter, guarded by Smith. Shot clock to 8. Foul called.
Braden Smith, how about the fact that he's already 25th in Big Ten history in assists, and that's with 2 years to go.
Sears had to go high off the glass. Holloway just checked in. Inside to Nelson for an easy 2. Clock down to 5.
Oh, good contest there by Berg. Hung in the play. Doesn't look like anything on that play.
Smith to Kaufman-Renn.
Good vertical contest, man. Grant
Nelson.
Look out.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was not there.
Grant Nelson went up to get it. Philon back with it. Nelson can do this. Alabama back on top.
And drawing that up, surprising to see Purdue have a seat.
Sears. Philon. Stevenson. O'Malley came up with it. 3 more. The freshman Philon stays high.
The block out for Purdue was almost too good. No one goes and pursues the basketball. And as a freshman, that is tremendous.
Smith. And a rebound to Nelson.
Boy, Amori just does such a nice job of getting vertical.
Philon right back to Nelson and 2 more.
Allen Fieldhouse is chaotic. Mac Arena is chaotic. But both of those venues, some of the best we've got. Thank you, Alabama and Purdue, for playing this home and home.
Right.
We need more of it in college basketball.
Reitzel. Air ball. He's their best three-point shooter. He'll try again. Second time
but
to go.
It didn't phase him one bit, Paul. And that's a guy that can get it going. Was one of the most efficient players in college basketball last year.
There's their top scorer, one-on-one against Nelson. 3 to shoot.
Good block.
Heidi. Boy, Robbie, from down 6 to up 7 like that. What a feed.
Toe speed that was.
Kaufman-Renn working against Nelson.
Good job by Nelson of just never giving an angle there. Made Kaufman-Renn score over the top.
This would be big. Offline. Nelson. Skip past to Reitzel. Huge.
Boy, what a look, though. LeBaron Philon easily could have taken that shot, but he had the presence of mind. Saw Reitzel on that wing wide open. Reitzel just made one off that reload a couple possessions ago. Who's your 4th guy? And C.J. Cox has filled that role perfectly. Oh, what a play.
Inside to Nelson and counting. Nelson cuts it to 4. Right?
Yakachonis, and he gets him off a quick start with the 3.
Tom, he's all of 6'5" at that point guard spot, maybe even 6'6", so he can take and make guarded threes. A tough one goes down early for the Illini.
Latrell Reitzel Jr., great 3-point threat. Trying to penetrate. And the dump off Clifford Amori, who played against Illinois twice last season with Rutgers. Nelson for 3, and we're locked up early.
So it's coverage on that first middle ball screen. And they don't drop quick enough to get back in front of Tomislav Ivisic.
His twin brother, Big Z, played at Kentucky last year, now with John Calipari at Arkansas. Nelson sizes up another. Splash. He's got 2 threes early from Champaign. Played a couple different high school spots. Nelson again. 3 for 3.
He has seen a really big rim in Birmingham early. The first time after bye games at home, Alabama was stung by Purdue. How will they respond in this building? So far, Grant Nelson says we're going to respond in the right way.
He's taking care of it himself. He's got 7 of the Illini's early 13.
Tom, he is really good. Played for the powerhouse FC Barcelona last year on their second team primarily. A ton of international experience.
Whew. Nelson slides right down the lane. You want it into 3 straight brick walls in that possession. Sears has not put up a shot yet. Second in the league in scoring behind Dalton Connect last year. What's that guy up to, Connect? Nelson banks it in. You've accomplished something. His eye just lit up.
Fortunate.
Bama started the game 4 for 4 from deep. Tied just 1 for its last 11. Nelson.
Just threes by Alabama. You can't stand and watch with a traditional box off. It is a foot race.
Well, those long rebounds, just one of the reasons as Reed goes to his left for his first bucket.
Set the tone defensively as an on-ball defender. That's a heck of a battle between 4 in orange and 1 in white. You've got a physical defender and offensive player going nose to nose.
Haven't seen much of number 10, Diabate, on the floor for Alabama. Here he is. Nelson from the corner.
At this spot, is it not? That right corner has been good to Grant Nelson.
Emily. Phylon. Lob to Nelson, who finishes it up.
How about, and does he understand his pace for a freshman guard awfully well?
Challenges Boswell and comes up with the dunk. Numbers for the Tide. Phylon steps around and draws a foul. Double at Marquette since D-Wade.
Yeah.
8-point Bama lead.
Did Marquette play hard? Stevie Mitchell was just a one-man press at all times. Defensive, what pass? Yes, sir. What a look by Grant Nelson out of that corner. Alabama, they keep those corners, the free throw line some this last 7 minutes. Score that clock stop. Watch out.
Nelson had one blocked by Misic a moment ago. Gives it up. And a beautiful reverse by Wrightsville. They are. Bama's reopened that lead thanks to a 9-0 run. Yakachonis. Dane Danger in 22. Nelson right back out.
That's 15 foul with 9:04 remaining in this first half. Here's Nelson. Nelson looking for his first points, and a 3-ball goes down for the Dakota Durant. Grant Nelson. I like. Stops a Houston run. Rockets. I mean, you see the Cougars come down looking like the Rockets here right now. And there's Nelson. Missed it. Traffic underneath. Let's see who they give credit to.
So you got to be strong with the basketball and find your open teammate if you're Alabama.
Here's quick release, but he's blocked, and there is Nelson on the follow. Cougars lead it by 1. Here's Juwan Roberts, talented player for the Cougars, gives it up. Plenty of time on the clock here. Wilson gets stuck a little. Now Francis going to work on Nelson. He spins, got bodies in the air, and stripped by Sears, and he's fouled. Mark Sears. The rest of the game, though, picking up a lot of fouls early. Shot clock down to 5. We'll give it go action. Nelson got to put one up. Down to 2. He is
right there, leading to that scoring opportunity.
They got Uzan on the foul.
Staying back once again, coming off, and I think Houston. I mean, their percentage on that play is very high in this game.
Darian Reed feeling it. Too strong. And Nelson with a board and a foul and a.
Thrilled because he didn't have to play the 5 all the time anymore. He's
in March Madness last year with Armando Bacot.
Defensively for Houston.
Sears back on the floor, inside to Nelson. Shot fake. Nelson showing the skills. Sears guarded by Wilson. Give it right back. Diabate. Nelson cutting. Oh, Tugler with a block. Diabate another board. Another chance here. Sears, three-pointer. I think he got a piece of it, Tugger. Nelson is fouled. Cougars pays off for Calvin Sampson. Ford putting Alabama on the defensive end here for an eternity. Now a turnover. Alabama with a takeaway. Reitzel looking for Holloway. Holloway drives, leaves it, and inside. Diabate. Great action by the Tide.
Bailey on the board.
I like that he didn't settle. He attacked Nelson off the bounce, got to the rim.
Rutgers a serious underdog here against Alabama. As Philon able to score it. First basket for Bama defensively to start this game. And a hammer jam. It's a basketball school. NCAA tournament did back in 2021. They were back the next year in the first four. NIT last year. Grant Nelson gets some space. He's taken on Martini. Alabama and had a big win over Houston last night. Here's Sherrell, first minutes on the floor, and he gets into the act.
And you see right now the offense is starting to flow for Alabama.
It's everywhere. We'll have 4 games on Saturday. Harper missed it. Nelson had that great performance in the NCAA tournament. Nelson at the line trying to extend this Bama. 1 out of 2. Philon driving, kicks it. Nelson, and he runs into a Bole, and it's going to be a foul.
Center with shoulders like a Bowley, who's now
on drought before Steve Pikiell got him back in 2021. Up top for Nelson. Diabate leaves it beautifully for Grant Nelson. Want to force him right, but he's good with the right too.
Look at this buddy ball right here. Great big-to-big pass.
Harper turns a corner. Harper pulls up short. Bailey kept it alive, but then Reed able to secure the board for Alabama. And that's going to count. Goaltend. 10 seconds between the shot and game clock. Turning the corner. Sears all kind of dribbling here in traffic. In the corner, Stevenson. There's your call, Allie. Stevenson gets this.
That was an important decision that backfired here for Rutgers.
Mark Sears' mom put the whammy on him right there. Saved by Diabate. Sears for 3. Too strong. Nelson offensive board. A third chance for Alabama. Nelson guarded by Acuff. That's a matchup Alabama wants to exploit. Oh, nice move there. Sears, but Maury lost the handle. Nelson there for the bucket and the harm. The Scarlet Knights. Inside, Holloway hangs it. We're utilizing that with Bailey. Alabama, Nelson with the kick into the corner. It goes, and a three-pointer is down for Jared Stevenson. Sears sat for 3.5 minutes when he picked up his 4th foul. And that lead dwindled to 2. Here's a Bowley, missed it, point blank, got his own. Sets up Durkak for 3. And Nelson there with a rebound and a foul. Fouls. If you're going to the stat sheet, officials are going to call. And it is Darian Reed picking up Harper. Now the switch. 4 fouls for Sears. Harper goes right at him. Missed it. And it is Diabate who secures. Darian Reed. Missed it. Durkak battling forward. Ball's up. And it is Stevenson who clears the board. Alabama to put it in here. And there's Nelson. And the quick foul comes. And Grant Nelson. Clutch.
He's here.
Big man, he's a 7-footer. He can shoot it a little bit. Misses on his first try. Philon aggressive. No look pass. Nelson gives it back to Reitzel on the other corner.
I just admired how in those games they just kept plugging away, kept defending.
Sears needs help. Holloway trying to get across the timeline, just does. And now Nelson leaves it up top. Cliff Amori on the receiving end. Selfish by Nelson. Here's Angel. And in there battling for the board. Biddle puts it back, no good. Missed opportunity there for Oregon. Amori wants another one up top, and there he goes.
Amori comes over to help. No one helps the helper.
Here's Nelson. He's a major offensive weapon. This time he tees up Sears. Sears with big range. Pieces together, Grant. It can be a challenge sometimes. 6 transfers have come into this program trying to get back to the NCAA tournament. A point-blank miss. 6 Houston here in Vegas. Took down Rutgers to get to the championship game on Wednesday. Nelson, good look. Nice pass and finish as Mo Diabate on the assist from Nelson. Barthelemy drives, no good. Missed it. Sears wants to clear it out. Sears taking on Barthelemy. Nelson with Tracy on him. Behind the back, nice pass, and what a finish. Collecting the assist for Nelson is LeBaron Philon. Alabama by 5 under 2 minutes to go. Biddle down on the block. Double team comes.
The Philon blocked that right there.
Great catch. His team just too many giveaways. 9 turnovers in that first half. Oregon's and that ends a 9-0 run as LeBaron Philon on a setup by Nelson.
And Nelson out here looking like Magic Johnson, backing people down, finding the cutters. Hey, man, every man for themselves, man, on the strip.
Was that Grant Hill? Shout out to Boogie Cousins, by the way, who apparently is here in Vegas. Here is Holloway, and a 3 is good. Here comes Alabama. It's down 1. Chance to grab the lead here. Brad Nelson. Turn in the corner, Philon. Philon drives. And that was Biddle, got a hand on that. Alabama able to recover. Nelson cuts to the basket, gets the pass, and scores. Bama gets it back from Evans. Bama drives, misses. And Sears out of the pack. Sears with 4 ducks back. Sears probing.
Good pass.
And he leaves it. It is blocked. No, it's a foul. Biddle. Nelson. Nelson drives. Nelson lays it in with the left hand. 2.5 to go. Oregon 7-0, undefeated this year. Alex,
that team from Chapel Hill.
They'll run the floor in transition, leaving it left of the circle. The 3 ball up and no good by Trimble, and then the Tide clears it. Here comes Nelson, ripping and running the other way. Grant spinning in the lane. Great move. Leaner off the glass. No, but he got fouled. Coming for Nelson as Grant 220, and Diabate, the sophomore from Queens. Cadeau with it between the circles, goes right side to Davis. He'll drive down the lane, plays through contact, shot missed. Before intermission, leads at 46-28. Carolina swings it near wing. They'll drive into the lane, they go to the rack, they'll lay it up, they'll miss. The putback is missed. Rebound claimed by Nelson. Credit Clifford Omori away. LeBaron inbounds it to Omori at the elbow. Cliff with a dribble to his left, picks it up, great backdoor look. Nelson the layup for 2. Off to Philon, swings it over to Stevenson. Jarrett on the drive, fires it back out to Sears. All alone, 4-3, halfway down it popped out. Ball tipped high in the air. Nelson saves it to Sears, drives in, lays it up, hit the bottom of the rim, but he's fouled. Claimed by Omori. Here comes Bama the other way. Philon in transition to the top of the arc. Between the legs with the dribble, a feed now to Sears. He'll drive into the paint, bounce pass, goes to Nelson, lays it up and in for 2, and the Tide leads it by 12.
Next year, and Drake Powell up over the Bama defenders.
Bama up by 13. Inside, Stevenson throws it down. He threw it down on a defender, and a great feed as well.
It was Grant Nelson with the throwdown.
He's going to probably use a timeout here. Nope. Bama's going to run ahead. They get a run out, and Nelson throws it down.
Well, he doesn't miss that one. Bama's got to do a better job in transition defense as a team.
11-point Bama lead. Cadeau driving, got away with a push-off, and then Nelson blocks it. Picked up by Philon in transition, and Ashworth knocks it down.
Well, that's what makes Creighton so tough. Ashworth, one of the best shooters in the Big East, was wide open and knocks it down.
Right side, 3 ball up, no good for Aiden Sherrill. Rebound inside, claimed by Nelson.
But all on the defensive end, and he's rebounding at a high level.
Isaac Trout into the game for Creighton, replacing McAndrew as Bama gets it to Sears, around to Sherrill. He's open for 3. Aiden Sherrill knocks home the first. bank first three of the game for the Tide, and Alabama with a 7-5 lead over the Blue Jays.
Nice job defensively. Alabama wants to get out and run with pace. Creighton doesn't often turn it over. When they do, you have to take advantage of it.
And then a turnover by Ashworth, cut off by Nelson. Ashworth stepped on the baseline and 5 on the visitors from Omaha, Nebraska. Creighton Blue Jays, members of the Big East Conference. Bama with the ball to Sears, drives down the lane, kicks it back to Nelson. He'll drive, he'll back his way down, he'll stop, he'll spin, he'll shoot high off the glass, no good, but he got fouled. And shooting a pair, the first for the North Dakota native. Lake, North Dakota, a transfer from North Dakota State Coliseum, and Bama trying to beat Creighton for the first time in 3 previous meetings. Bama works it front court to our right. Sears catch and shoot 3. That's a great way to start. Sears takes it to the left corner, changes direction, working against Ashworth. Now to Nelson, trying to back his way down on McAndrew. Gets it into the paint, pump fake once, twice, third time the charm, got it to go. Zone in the half court for Creighton. Slows Bama at least. Nelson to Phylon, back to Nelson in the paint. Throws a lob, the dunk, Amori wouldn't go, but he got fouled. Hicks is as close as they have been in this second half. And that's where it is now. Sears trying to answer, and he does. A huge bank first 3, Mark Sears. He leads everybody with 23, and with 2:22 to go, Bama leads it again by 9.
Off the glass and in.
Far side, Stevenson 3, too strong, rebounded Reed, kept it alive, gives it off to Sears. 4-2, Hawks advantage here in North Dakota. Driving, Nelson gets to the rim, lays it up and in. Here come the Hawks, working it to the far wing, King. Near side, trying to back his way down. Kuljahovic, and then a block shot down low, Nelson. Here comes Bama, running the other way. Amori playing through contact. They're going to call a blocking foul.
Bama just 2 for 6 from the stripe.
Correct myself, Ryan Matthews and Zach Kraft coming in for the Hawks. Bama basketball, 15:55 to go in the half. Sears the drive, leaves it for the trailer Nelson, who lays it up and in for 2.
Eagle staff, another open 3 from the wing, in and out. This is Youngblood, just in his second appearance of the season. Missed the first month with an ankle injury that he suffered in September. He's such last season. Big-time scorer for that program after spending 3 years at Kennesaw.
The NCAA tournament. A lot of the intangibles there, as well as his scoring.
And with 8:04 to go in the half, it's a 9-point lead for North Dakota. Now here's Sears firing it right side, all alone. Phylon 3, bottom, and that quiets the crowd at the moment. For the Crimson Tide of Coach Nate Oates, Bama down 5. 6:50 to go in this first half. Reed has it on the near wing for Bama. Looking into the paint, Nelson posting up, spins away from a double team, and throws it home with a dunk. Far side to Stevenson. Now to Nelson. He'll drive, he'll cross over, he'll get to the rim, and he'll lay it in for 2.
So smooth. Catches it.
Had the advantage at 6-4. Nelson with it at the elbow, giving it off far side Sears. Catch and shoot 3 for the lead, bottom. 33-32 Bama after the Tide knocks down another bank first 3-pointer, their 5th on the clock. Stevenson defending him now. Inglestaff on the drive, gets into the paint, finger roll up, blocked by Alabama's Grant Nelson. Fans wanted a goaltend. Sears with it on the near wing. Step back 3, bottom. Nice touch pass from Youngblood to set that up for Mark Sears.
Here is Nelson. Strong, aggressive take on Woodson. Couldn't quite get the... Now, Darius Woodson is 6'7". And he's been playing some 4 this season for North Dakota, but he's been...
21st on Alabama's all-time scoring list. 1,446 points, passing George Lynn. Free throw missed, but the rebound, Nelson out to Sears and move him up on the scoring list. At top of the arc, goes down the lane. Tried to dunk it, Nelson blocked it. Here comes Bama the other way. Phylon in the near wing, lets traffic go by. Works into the paint, gets to the rim, lays it up and in for 2.
Defense to offense.
Rebound tipped again, Millette saved it. And Millette gives it off to Phylon once again. Third chance opportunity upcoming for Bama. Driving, Philon, nice feed inside Nelson, pump fake, layup, good, and the Tide pushes the lead now to 54-47. Lead is cut to 8. Here's Grant Nelson on the drive, gets into the paint, tough shot, got the leader to go over Matthews. And that cuts the Bama lead to 5. Hawks won't go away as they'll find Nelson. Bama will, goes in, reverse layup with the left hand. He switched from the right to the left as he went under the bucket, heading down the lane. Inbounds pass goes in the corner to Woodson. He'll drive in, lays it up with a left hand, rolls off, no good. Rebounded Youngblood, outlet pass to Sears. Mark getting it into the front court, going down the lane, lays it up and in for 2.
Close. Sears now going right to the rim. Panoam with the block. Youngblood. Oh, crowd wanted to travel. Nelson on the take. Grant Nelson!
Around Grant Nelson, and the lead is down to 5, but Bama runs the other way. Omori giving it off Sears, top of the arc, 3, short, rebound, save Millette, flips it out to Nelson. Grant to Millette, you earned it, bottom.
Boy, you love the effort by Houston Millette, getting on the offensive glass, the hustle play. Grant Nelson rewards him as Millette filled back in the corner by himself, let it fly and knocks it down. Right to North Dakota.
Sears, Philon, 3, no good, rebound, Diabate saves it to Philon, to Sears, Mark down the lane, now to Nelson in the paint, spinning in the lane, pump fake, steps through, hook shot, yes! Grant Nelson, the jump hook, got it to go, and Alabama with his 19 points now lead it by a bucket. We thought about a 3, feeds Eaglestaff again, missed it this time, rebound Nelson, and he is fouled. State hero Grant Nelson wearing crimson hits the front end of a 1-and-1. Free throw is up, it's perfect. Back to Sears, deep 3, short, rebound Nelson, back out to Millette, and Bama will run more clock. 37 seconds remain, and fouled is LeBaron Philon.
And if he can become a consistent, legitimate.
At North Dakota as a kid, looked up to these players, and you know this is a big moment for Grant.
Hit them both.
We'll bring it ahead, handing it off to Sears. Mark working to the elbow, and Nelson kicks it right wing. Philon, 3, too strong. Rebounded Nelson down low, brings it away from traffic. They get it back to Medley, drives to the near elbow. Ball in the paint, fought for, knocked away twice, stolen now by Philon. Flips it ahead to Sears, a bench in possession. We'll go back to the Golden Flashes. Davis drives to the elbow, had it blocked by Nelson, but right back into his hands. He fires the pass inside, missing the attempt in as Kid State works it to the near side. Baseline jumper missed by Davis. Around the horn, Bama does. Philon, right corner, 3 ball, too strong. Rebound claimed by Nelson as he ran it down on a hustling play. Gives it back to Philon, right corner. Philon dribbles to the wing, crosses over, goes baseline, stops inside Sherrill, lays it in for 2. Aiden Sherrill's first bucket gives Bama the 15-4 advantage. Strong from Davis, rebound tipped into the hands of Sears. Now to Philon. LeBaron going downhill, puts it up, runner too strong, tip followed good by Nelson, and off to Medley. Driving underneath the basket actually was Sumlin. Shot attempt inside, Morales blocked again by Bama. Here comes Philon the other way. LeBaron floats to the left wing as we near the 5-minute mark of the half. Sears lets fly from deep. Side with the dribble, gives it off to Sears. Catch and shoot 3, too strong. Rebound tipped in. Grant Nelson, a great play on the offensive glass.
It wasn't a great shot to finish over those guys. Won't get credit for a block shot, but forced a difficult attempt.
Youngblood reverses back to Sears, driving down the lane. Beautiful bounce pass. Amori had the dunk attempt partially blocked. A fight for the loose ball, and it was tipped in. They're going to count the bucket for Grant Nelson. I think a Kent State player touched it while it was on the cylinder. Free throw up coming from Diabate. And that one rattles out no good. Nelson, a great rebound as he gets shoved into the Kent State bench area. Keeps his footing, though. 3 left side, no good from Diabate. Bama got away with an over-the-back call right there. They keep it alive and work it to Philon. LeBaron, top of the arc, driving down the lane. Floater is up, got the friendly roll. Holloway on the near wing to Nelson, back to Holloway. Bounce pass, a good one to Nelson. Beautiful feed inside Diabate. Layup attempt is blocked, and it was actually Darion Reed who went in. 22, Phylon top of the arc. Working down low to Nelson. Great catch in traffic, off the glass and in. Boy, that was not an easy play from the catch to the finish. But Grant Nelson going to the stripe to try and convert an and one. Keith Barnett at 72-44 with 4:25 to go. Grant Nelson to the rack, had his shot attempt blocked, but he's fouled.
Good free throw shooter struggling here today.
Does get that one to go, though. Tide bringing it front court. Holloway gives it up to Sears. Mark giving it off to Nelson. Grant, the handoff to Youngblood. Chris will drive and dish. Sears all alone. Three, bottom. Boy, that's almost money, isn't it?
Yeah, in rhythm coming out of a timeout. Nice job by Chris Youngblood to get the ball in the lane. Mark Sears able to step into it and knock it down.
His foot, but it goes right to Amori. Amori on the block, kicks it out. Nelson spots up. Three, bottom. Alabama, the bank first three from Grant Nelson gets on the board first. They've given the Tide the early advantage. Nelson, who had the career high against North Dakota, gives it back out, or a season high, I should say, against North Dakota a couple of games ago. Will now back his way into the post. Goes in with a sweeping hook. George Mikan gets it done again. Trying to minimize what he does as he comes in averaging a double-double. Holloway giving it off to Nelson on the far wing, just inside the arc. Gives it now to Sears. Back to Nelson, left alone. He'll try three, bottom. They allow the shooters to get open on back-to-back trips. Now here's Nelson driving. Swing goes to the rack and throws it home. Circles away from Nelson. Seiler now getting it into the paint, shows the ball right, spins, lays it up, missed it. Ball tipped though into the hands of Clough. Driving in more, spot from behind by Stevenson, and Bama will run the other way. Here's Sears in transition, kicks in the corner to Holloway, spins away from a defender. Teardrop is good. Time left, second half here at Coleman Coliseum, a 61-44 Alabama lead. Sears with the basketball, kicks it out to Phylon, an open three, and knocks home another bank first bucket for the Crimson Tide.
Alabama just 1 for 5 from the three-point line here in the second half, but getting great looks.
Unfortunately, Seiler's able to answer quickly on the other end, and the lead goes back down to 64-47 for the Tide. Nelson far side, catch and shoot three. He answers.
Well, that was not in rhythm. The pass was a little bit off and took Grant Nelson over to his left. He didn't look on balance, but able to knock down his third three of the game.
Missed three in transition by Seiler, and Bama comes the other way with it. Here's Holloway with the Tide on top, 66-50. 14:08 to go, second half. Inside, Nelson feeds it to Amori, lays it up and in off the glass for two.
I don't see how that one went in. Well defended by Grant Nelson. South Dakota State gets the friendly roll.
Nelson on the drive, runner off the glass, count it, and he is fouled. Timeout on the floor, 7:21 to play here in Coleman. Bounds, going to Nelson, fires it over to Stevenson, who drives in, lays it up and in for two. Boy, Bama got the mismatch they wanted. Inbounds goes to Nelson. Grant pivots, hands it off to Holloway. Steps to the right, shoots a three, makes it again. Having a good time, isn't he?
Oh, man, feeling it here in Alabama's last non-conference game. Aiden Holloway with a game-high 26 points.
Jackson looking left, dribbling left. Cut off by Holloway, now goes right. Jackson into the paint, stops, spins, and a steal by Nelson on the pass intended for Wilkinson. Grant going the other way, got fast and no turnovers. Free throw. Tipped into the air and controlled by OU. Here comes Jeremiah Fears the other direction. Racing to the rim, misses the layup. Tipped out to Phylon. Now we got numbers 3 on 2. Trailer, Sears, kicks it. Phylon, right corner, three.
That was a smart play by LeBaron Phylon. Had a 3-on-2 fast break, gets it to Mark Sears. The defense reacts to Sears. The result, a wide-open three by Phylon, and he knocks it down.
First, Sooners able to get out of it, finding more, and then back out high. They'll get it to Fears. Fears off of the screen, driving downhill, gets into the paint, stripped by Nelson, picked up Diabate. Clears it, comes the other way. Nelson will drive downhill, throws it out, flush from Amori.
Alabama having success attacking the paint and making the extra pass. Beautiful lob by Grant Nelson.
Alabama, an 8-point lead, their biggest here in the first half. A block shot from Nelson on the attempt for Moore. He'll drive back in again. Spinning baseline, caught underneath, spins twice, blocked again. Taylor fires a pass near side to Elvis. Elvis between the circles, looking, gives it off Godwin, right of the circle. Back over to Elvis. Elvis hesitates, stops, goes downhill, spins, puts it up, blocked, and it's out of bounds off of Elvis.
My goodness, what a defensive play by Grant Nelson, matched up on the quicker guard, able to move his feet, go straight up, block the shot, make the play defensively. Alabama getting it done on the defensive end.
Holloway checks out. In to replace him, Chris Youngblood for the Crimson. Roll Tide chant starting behind us and to our left. Sears stepping back, giving it off. Nelson down right into the house. Timeout, Oklahoma. 8:14 remains, first half. Alabama 27, Oklahoma 16. We're back in a moment on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Moving, time left, first half here in Coleman Coliseum. Mark Sears trying to work away from a double team, feeds it over to Nelson. Grant will drive to the elbow, picks it up, hands it to Youngblood. He'll drive, flips it back to Nelson. Left alone, tries a three. So here's Oklahoma with the basketball. Top of the arc, Elvis crossing over. Spears actually. High shot off the window, no good. Enough for a smaller defender. And with 4 minutes to go in the half, Bama's lead is down to 39-23. Phylon to Nelson, left alone, tries a three, hits it. And Bama another bank first three and leads it 42-23 by the Sooners. They want to run. Miles downhill, throws it back out, stolen by Bama. Nelson a hustling play. Ahead they go, Youngblood. One more read, he missed the dunk. Rebound, Youngblood got fouled, and he'll go to the line. Phylon working against an OU defense. It may have gone to zone right here. Nelson, three, bottom. Grant Nelson from the far wing buries another bank first. Three-pointer for the Crimson Tide. 133 Bama. Nelson near corner. Actually, Stevenson missing the three. Nelson rebounding it, giving it off to Sears. Mark, shake and bake move into the lane, off the glass. Counted, and he's fouled. Bama with the ball. Here comes Mark, leaving it for the trailer Holloway. Aiden on the drive. Down the lane, kicks it in the corner. Around we go to Nelson. Fakes a three, goes down the lane. Leader in the paint is good. Should have been an and one opportunity. Instead, we'll take the bucket.
Game of the season, and Alabama has taken it to them.
Sooners get one of two, and then Bama gets a three on the other end. Another bank first three-pointer. This time, Jaron Stevenson gets it to go, and Bama leads it 93-66.
Eyes, but nothing to show for it here in the early going.
Phylon with it, top of the arc, crosses right, goes between the legs left, works his way down the left side of the lane, kicks it back out to Nelson. Grant driving baseline, cut off, nice bounce pass, but taking his eyes off of it was Amori. Picks it up, finds Sears, his three, rattles around and pops back in. Nelson claims his second rebound for Alabama. Here comes the Tide the other way. Sears to Nelson. Grant going down the lane, hands it off to Amori, lays it up with the left hand and got it to go.
That's a couple of times that the Alabama big men have drove the lane, making good decisions. Beautiful pass to Cliff Amori, who finishes through contact.
Gives it far side to right. Back to Thomas on the block. Posting up on Phylon. Got caught in the air. Pass deflected around. Back into LeBaron's hands. Bama with a takeaway. Here comes Phylon on the wing. Hesitates. Lets Bama's lead is down to a bucket. Sears worth it. Top of the arc. Hesitates. Goes to the elbow. Keeps the dribble alive to the corner. Sears wanted to cross, instead goes into the lane. Beautiful wraparound bounce pass, and Nelson, the reverse slam.
Beautiful pass by Mark Sears. Shook his man, got the angle to the basket. Defense had to help out. Grant Nelson all by himself throws it down.
Bama's right on the dribble for South Carolina. Throws it down low to Pringle, drives in, blocked from behind by Nelson, and here comes Bama the other way. Phylon stopping on the left wing. Keeps the dribble alive, crosses over, goes down the left side, looks for help, finds Nelson. Nelson backing his way down against Wright. Beautiful bounce pass. Diamante for the flush.
The toughness of Grant Nelson took some contact, and a beautiful backdoor cut from Mo Diabate, catches it in stride and throws it down.
Fighting for a loose ball. It's batted around. Gamecocks go to the deck and win the loose ball. Bama then takes it away, though. The poke away by Philon to Holloway, far side. Aiden to Nelson. Reverse layup.
What a play defensively. It was started by LeBaron Philon. Got the tip to Aiden Holloway, and the pass and the finish. Grant Nelson takes the contact, and don't know if he was looking, but finishes the reverse lay-in after the foul from Nick Pringle. What a sequence on both ends for Alabama.
LeBaron on the wing. Gives it off to Amori. Nice feed. Nelson the flush for two. Nobody rotated over into the low block to Washington. He will back underneath the basket. Stops, loses the handle, and picked up by Stevenson. Here comes Bama, then a foul right on the midcourt stripe.
Bama's going to have to go quick with 11 on the shot clock.
Inbound goes to Nelson. Backdoor cut. Stevenson lays it up. No. Rebound. By Alabama, but a foul was called on the shot attempt. Rebound cleared by Cliff. Outlet pass goes to LeBaron. Here comes Philon. Behind the back with a dribble. Drives, throws a lob. Nelson couldn't get it to go, but he got fouled up.
Lob to Grant Nelson, who almost got the dunk to go down. Got hit in the
end of the lane. Swings it over Holloway. 3 balls short. Rebound tipped into the hands of Nelson. Grant to Sears. All alone. 3 short. Rebound tipped again, and a foul's going to be called on Texas A&M. Bama basketball when we come back. 3:36 to go in the first half.
Couple of fouls, just 1 point.
And then some. Phelps on the drive, no good. Rebound fought for, scramble on the deck, tie up, and the arrow is going to favor Alabama. 52-44 lead. We're 1 minute into this second half as the Aggies drive underneath the basket. Phelps circling back, cut off nicely by Stevenson. Backing his way down is Phelps, spinning, stopping, shooting short. Rebound, fought for, Nelson claims it. Ahead now to Philon. Philon driving to the rim, off the window and in for 2. Bama by 10, matching their biggest lead of the night.
Great defense by Jaron Stevenson, forced a difficult shot. Alabama able to get out in the break. It was
it into the corner, touch pass Philon, open, 3 too strong.
The board rushed it a little short with it, then picks up the foul.
Phelps on the drive, gets to the elbow, gets into the paint. Fall away leaner, no good. Rebound snatched out of the air by Stevenson. Hands it off to Philon. LeBaron in transition. Works right side. Gets into the paint. Kicks it out. Nelson drives the baseline and throws it home.
A 6-0 run by Chris Youngblood himself the last 2 possessions.
We're good with that. Phelps throws it down low to Payne. Backing his way down on Sherrill. Double team now with the help from Nelson. Kick out Phelps for 3, no good. Rebounded by Reed. Darion will push it ahead. Going down the lane, lays it up, no. Tip, no. Fight for the loose ball, won by Nelson. Grant looks, fires it over to Sears. Sears thought about it, drives in, gets cut off, reverse layup. Got it. Oh, what a move by Mark Sears. Bama by 15 with 10 minutes to go.
A huge 8-0 run, a couple of threes, a 3-point play, and Mark Sears getting inside, making plays here on the road.
They're not chanting Roll Tide here in Aggie land, but Bama has the 15-point lead when we come back. 10:06 to play on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Thankfully, didn't call him for that foul, and Obaseki has it working against Sears. Obaseki spinning away, going down the lane, puts it up with a left hand, no. Rebound tip high into the air, and Holloway gets above everybody to bring it down. The little man now spinning into the front court. The 6th man, if you will, here for Aggie basketball. Philon driving, dishing to Reed, now to Holloway. Teardrop in the lane, and he is red, smoking hot. Sears will trigger it. Washington will try to impede his vision. They get it into Amori at the elbow, extended. Backdoor look, Nelson for the flush. Great pass, Clifford Amori. Gets to Payne. at the elbow. He'll drive into the lane. Shot up, blocked by Nelson. Saved in the hands of Hefner. 4:12 to go. Bama up 9. Phelps lost it, but into the hands of an Aggie. That's Payne in the lane. Spinning, stripped by Sears, out of bounds. Touched last by the Tide. Phelps couldn't get it to go, and Bama claims the miss. Stevenson backing his way down against Hefner. Stepping back beyond the arc, gives it off Youngblood. Chris looking, goes to his left, cut off. Drives right, now left, now hands it off to Sears. He says, y'all get out of the way. 10, 9 on the shot clock. 7, 6, Sears in the lane at 5. Out to Youngblood. Thought about a 3. Back to Sears. Lets it fly. Too strong. Rebound tip, no. Youngblood. Stevenson with the rebound. Out to Sears. Tries it again. In and out, no good. Rebound claimed by Phylon. Sears again. Bottoms. Huge bank first 3 on a third chance opportunity.
Well, it's A&M, the #1 offensive rebounding team.
It's up, and it's no good. It popped out. Rebounded by Youngblood. Youngblood grabbed the miss after it plinkoed around in the hands of about 3 different Aggies.
What an absolutely huge offensive rebound. Alabama has gotten some enormous offensive rebounds in this game, and that ball just kind of hung up there. A&M mishandled it. Chris Youngblood with some big plays here in the second half.
Bring it ahead, Youngblood guarding him. Phelps playing with 4 fouls. Drives in, blocked by Nelson.
Matched up with Dia. Nelson into Dia this time. It was just a switch fest. Whoa, how did he get free? Nelson turned the corner and dropped the hammer. It's on the season. Here's Nelson. And he's fouled hard on his way to the rim.
And turn around. I'm sure that has a little bit of effect, even though I'm sure Chris Jans isn't buying it.
Nelson with a beautiful pass over the top to cutting Jared Stevenson. We've up 5. Grant Nelson gets a high percentage look from the line tonight. And 6 below their average of made 3s, but 5 turnovers for the 5th-year senior from Devil. 1:08 to play. Open 3 transition, no. Rebound, followed by Youngblood.
Phylon will bring it up against the man-to-man look from the Cats. Nelson will throw a lob. Amore the catch and the flush, and a great start for Alabama. And you can tell Big Blue Nation is making some noise here early. 7-2 Kentucky. We need a bucket. Here's Sears giving it off to Phylon. LeBaron to Amore, back to Phylon. Now to Nelson, left alone. Another 3 attempt. Bottom. Boy, that looks a lot better. He hadn't touched the rim in 2 shots, but that one went through the net first.
Boy, love the fact that Grant Nelson stayed confident after missing everything the last possession.
Up the window, and here's Amore clearing it. Out to Sears, now to Nelson. Driving down the lane to the rim, off the glass and in. He'll throw a bounce pass to Butler, who circles away from trouble. He'll dribble 12 feet away, shoots at 11. The air ball caught by Nelson. Here comes Bama the other way with Sears. Mark on the left wing, behind the back with the dribble to Nelson, top of the arc, 4-3, bottom. Oh, Bama's hot early. Another bank first 3, the second from Nelson, and the Tide leads 13-7. 15:54 to go first half.
And that's an 11-0 run for Alabama in about 1:20.
Butler on the drive to the rim, left alone, and gets it to drop. Tide will run back the other way. Phylon ahead to Nelson. Nice move in the lane. Runner is up. It wouldn't go, but he's fouled. In conference play, only 5 of 12 from the free throw line. Make it 6 of 13, though, thankfully. Gets them both to go there. Get it to the paint, then over to Diabate. Holloway thought about a 3, drives into the lane, out to Sears. He'll penetrate, he'll get to the rim, he'll hand it off, and Nelson will put it up and play through contact. Got the bucket to go and pushes the Bama lead up to 8 at 20-12. Williams directing traffic from there with his back to the hoop. He'll work against Nelson. Williams in the paint, strong move, no good. Basketball, Nelson over to Phylon. Catch and shoot 3, that one's no good. Tip Nelson, counted, and he is fouled, and one opportunity upcoming for Grant Nelson. Try to cut this lead in half. It's down for the Cats. Nelson able to hit the and one. Now to Phylon. LeBaron stopping at the arc, letting traffic catch up, wearing crimson. He'll drive left. A bounce pass. Nelson in the lane. Runner is no good, but he's fouled. He'll shoot free throws when we come back.
Already 5 wins against top 15 teams nationally.
Nelson at the stripe hits the first free throw. In terms of attempts, an uncommon occurrence that we don't expect to stay that way here in the Bluegrass. 40-39 with 3:08 remaining first half.
And how about Grant Nelson with 17 first half points?
Butler playing off the screen, drives to the paint, cut off by Grant. Tries to get him in the air. Good defense by Nelson. Rebound fought for. Take it away, Diabate. He ripped it out of the hands of Williams. Phylon trying to trigger it in. We got to hurry now. Looking, and he just beats the count, getting it to Nelson. Grant getting into the paint. Tough move with the left hand. He's got 19 first half points, and Alabama leads it 41-40. Direction. Phylon giving it off to Nelson. A dribble to his right, a kick to Sears. Corner three. Oh, that was so pretty. Here with a minute 42 to go in the half. Williams driving down the lane. Runner no good. Tip follow no good. Rebounded by Nelson. He's doing it all.
I think he'll be in the NBA next year, and if they were, that would have counted.
Nelson with the basketball. Behind the back move. Pump fake. Shot up the window. No. But he's fouled and will go to the line to shoot a pair. And that is an unbelievable behind the back dribble by Grant Nelson in the paint. Caught it after the dribble behind the back and still got the shot up. And he will shoot a pair as the foul was called on Williams.
Spin. The handles of a guard able.
Trying to tie it up. 58 all were tied. It's 7-1. Steps back, kicks it to Nelson in the corner. Grant trying to back down the smaller guard in Oweh. Nelson spinning, stepping through, tough shot. No, but he's fouled. Nelson with 21 points, trying to get it to 22, and he does just that. Again, with 7:37 to go in a 2-point game. Phylon on the drive, getting into the paint, gives it out to Nelson. Grant on the drive, tough move downhill, count it, and he's fouled. The and one opportunity for Grant Nelson, having one of the games of his life. He's got 24 to go with 8 rebounds. We've seen him do it, Brian, on the biggest stages. Be his very best.
Yeah, 24 points last year in the Sweet 16 against North Carolina. Veteran able to finish with the left hand.
And able to convert the and one.
When you have your breath knocked out, you're not going to die. You just think you are. Inbounds pass comes from Phylon to Nelson, who backs his way into the lane, drives to the bucket, lays it in for 2. He just muscled his way in there.
Yeah, Vanderbilt hot shooting here in the second half.
Grant Nelson with the basketball, driving right, puts it off the window and in. 18 to shoot, 6:02 to play. Lob pass, Nelson catches flush.
Wow, I thought Mark may have let him a little bit too much, but the speed.
Terrell gives it up to Nelson, who hands it to Sears. Mark will get into the lane. He'll run in, he'll lay it up and get it to go, as he had on the previous makes, and Sears will run the other way. Gets downhill, reverse layup, no. Rebound, put back, good for 2 by Grant Nelson.
Leading the nation in scoring.
Bama will inbound it, throwing the home run ball. Youngblood to Nelson, nice catch. The dribble and the flush. Your exclamation point on this one. Stevenson with the dribble. Throws it to Nelson. Grant looks down low, finds Amori on the seal, puts it up, wouldn't go, but he got fouled. Tigers with a basketball left of the circle. On the drive is Bailey, cut off, lost it, scramble on the deck. Stevenson had it, now Nelson takes it away. Carter in the front court. 7-7 game at the moment, LSU and Bama. Carter underneath, circles, needs help, hands it off the window, no good by Chest. Outlet pass from Amori to Youngblood. Chris going downhill, steps through, Leaner, got it. Oh, that was beautiful. Diabate on the right wing throws a, nope, thought he was going to throw a bounce pass. Instead, he'll wait, give it off to Mark. Sears will drive baseline, gets underneath the basket, kicks it out to Holloway. Layup. Three-pointer, actually. A bank first three-pointer, but for Aiden, that is a layup. Dunk on the other end to make this a one-point game. Here's Holloway on the drive, getting into the paint, kicking into the corner, Nelson. He'll drive to the rim, and he'll throw it home.
What a play by Grant Nelson. I thought he should have taken the 3, but had a little bit of a lane towards the baseline, goes up and throws it down.
Inbound at side court. Sears with the ball now. Mark getting it center of the floor. 11, 10, 9 to play in the half. Nelson, high post, 7.6. Looking, driving, got tripped on his way to the rim, and Alabama. First one's up and good. Nelson trying to tie it at 40. Does. 5 with 3 boards, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. Bama with the basketball first. It's Nelson on the right wing. Driving into the paint. Tough shot, got it to go over the defender Collins. He let it go so quick, Collins never knew it was coming. Sears for the Tigers. Sears for the dribble to the right side, goes down the lane, throws a pass into the chest of a Bama player, deflected, stolen by Diabate. Into the hands of Holloway, and we got numbers. 5 on 4. Holloway top of the arc, right side, gets a return pass, lets it fly.
The offense didn't see enough of that in the first half. Just a dribble handoff move in transition. Grant Nelson with the handoff, a little bit of a screen. Aiden Holloway all alone knocks it down.
5 in the first half. And wouldn't be shocked if he didn't say stay with the hot hand, because he's done that before. Nelson with the basketball, backing his way down, gets into the paint, spins, looks, needs help, bounce pass to the cutter, Phylon off the window and in. Boy, his streak for a little man is so impressive. Not that little, I know, at 6'4", but he's not that heavy.
Yeah, but he's strong and he's tough and was able to finish through contact.
Excuse me, Nelson and Amori of Alabama. It's Grant with the basketball, dribbling right, going to the rim, puts it up left-handed, got it to go. What a move. To a 4-point game again, 60-56. Here's Phylon, front court for Alabama. Weaving through traffic, kicks it in the corner. Nelson all alone. Grant starting to get it going inside and out. And with 11:45 to play, Bama again leads by 7 in the crowd. Getting to life again here at Coleman. Sears backing it out to the near wing with 8 on the shot clock. Drives it at Nelson, puts it up off the window. No. Jones reminds him he can run the baseline. And he's got himself right under the basket, though, and throws it to Holloway. Holloway trying to work away from a triple team, and Nelson gets fouled. Second attempt is up. That one's perfect. To Stevenson, but it's deflected away and stolen. State may have got, he'll bring it ahead. Will Sears facing a new man of the game in Riley Kugel. Bounce pass to Nelson, and the freight train went right down the heart of Main Street. To Amori, now to Chris, lets it fly, no good. Rebound, Nelson out of nowhere by State. Kugel thought about a step back, instead dumps it into the low post. Nwoko spinning against Nelson, spinning right, blocked by Grant.
Chris Youngblood out there, the guy is a catch and shoot sniper.
Bounce pass goes inside, lefty layup, no good by Nwoko. Only one now. Here's Phylon over to Sears, left side. He'll get into the paint. He'll stop. He'll hand it off. Nelson lays it up and in for 2. Well, our score with 7:20 to go in the opening half of this one. Great pass. Sears to Nelson for the flush. Grant will hand it off to Reed. Reed looking, gives it to Diabate. He'll drive and dish. Nelson thought about a 3. Instead, will drive and throw a bounce pass. Diabate met the pass, and that's the only reason that he's going to go to the free throw line rather than State coming the other way with possession of the ball. Holloway and Sears, the 5 on the floor. The inbounds will come to Mark, and he will bring it out to the center court logo and just dribble there as he's being defended by Jones. Plays off the screen at 7. Bounce pass inside. Nelson lays it up, count it, and he is fouled. The and one opportunity for Grant Nelson. Get this back to a 5-point lead. And he does. Nicely done. Tom Stipe, who's been running on fumes, able to get us back right on cue. Bama with the basketball, throwing it to Nelson. It goes down the lane, puts it up, and got it to go. He wanted an of the second half. Now here's Sears trying to play off the screen to Phylon. Back to Mark. Bounce pass, Nelson kicks, corner, Youngblood 3 for the tie, and it's good. And Youngblood buries the bank first 3 on the assist from Mark Sears, and Alabama has knotted the score at 70 with 8:10 to go.
Grant Nelson did a phenomenal job right there finding the open man.
Out of the air and brings it the other way. Looking to tie or take the lead with a 3. Bama with the ball. Youngblood in the corner. Youngblood squaring up, giving it off to Nelson. He'll dribble and hand it off to Mark.
Sears on the drive. Lob and the flush for the big dog.
Love that.
Looking, hands it off to Nelson. Grant with a couple of dribbles. Still has it. Drives the lane. Lob. No, he put it up. It wouldn't go. Rebounded by Mo, and he puts it in. Youngblood will pick up Hubbard as he brings the ball front court with 2:50 to go. Tie game at 80 apiece. SEC showdown. Kugel in the lane. Deflected by Nelson and stolen by Holloway. Aiden running the other way. Doesn't have numbers. Stops on the wing. Goes to his right. Backs it out. Looking for Sears. He will keep the dribble going and then feeds Mark. Mark in the corner. Nelson for three. Bottom. Oh, mercy. Grant Nelson. A huge three on the assist from Mark Christopher Sears. We got one timeout left. We got to get it in bounds. First and foremost, Sears back in the game. Youngblood gets it into Nelson, who gets tackled, and I mean tackled. Nelson, free throw, got the friendly roll. Out the pass again to Mark, and he'll bring it ahead, firing it to Sears on the right wing, or actually to Nelson. Grant with a layup, couldn't get it to go, and Grant will go to the line to shoot two.
Balance, it'll be 2 free throws coming up for Grant.
Grant Nelson at the stripe, where he knocks down the first free throw. The made first free throw from Nelson. Here's Newell on the spin, the block by Nelson. Rebound fought for, but going out of bounds and not establishing position back in play before he grabbed the basketball was Godfrey. So Georgia turns it back over to the Crimson Tide.
Really nice start for Cliff Amore on the defensive end. Couple of defensive rebounds, then comes over with help side defense. Nice job initially by Grant Nelson to turn him back to Cliff Amore, who gets the block shot.
Sears front court, working against the defender, Demery. Hands it to Nelson. Grant driving to the elbow, kicks it. Stevenson, corner three. Glad to see that go through. The bank first three-pointer for Jaron Stevenson to get him a good start and put Bama on top 4-0.
No hesitation by Jaron Stevenson in the corner, and you could see how much that made shot meant to him. He was pumped up.
Kane for Georgia. Demery now on the drive, puts it up, blocked by Nelson, and then deflected out. Sears to Youngblood. Tied. Free throw up, and no shock that after the miss, the rebound's claimed by Mo. He has been fantastic on both ends of the floor, but especially on the glass. Bounce pass goes to Nelson from Sears. Layup is good. Bam in the midst of an 11-0 run, last 2:45 plus as Sears is back in, fires the pass to Youngblood. Steps to his right, shoots a three, bottom.
Speaking of hot, coming off 23 points in Starkville on Wednesday night. No hesitation there. Didn't have much room. Let it fly and knocks it down.
Dylan James dribbles right, hands it off to Montgomery, puts up the runner. It's blocked. Nelson could get a hold of it. Now the Dogs will drive in. Tough layup attempt, no good. Scramble for loose ball, and Nelson comes out with it.
This time, just picking up your dribble where you didn't need to. Jaron Stevenson didn't have anywhere to go.
Dogs throw it into the low post. They deflect it around, but stolen away. Pulls it back to within 6. 8-0 run for the Dogs, as Brian said. Now Bama throws a lob from Nelson to Sherrill for the flush, and he is in double digits with 10.
Dylan James defended by Grant Nelson. 10 to shoot. Newell fighting for the offensive rebound, but stepped out of bounds.
Able to explode to the rim, and he's able to go to the free throw line at a high clip.
May only be listed at 6'1", doesn't play that way. Newell left it short, and a foul. Maybe some frustration here with all the fouls that we've had. And we're checking on that at the moment.
The middle, Alabama has done a really good job of showing bodies and not allowing him to get something going in the low block, and there he is with a good start to the second half.
Sears to Nelson. Oh, that's great footwork by the second-year transfer from North Dakota State.
And
good the window.
The shoe squeaking from Blue Kane as he created the space. It's a lot of physicality on both of these teams on the finishes around the basket.
Nelson, there you go, taking advantage of the foul trouble. Alabama, 6 for 14 from 3. Remember, they had 15 made threes in their latest win coming into the weekend. And right on cue, Nelson from downtown.
Yeah, they're definitely going at it. Grant Nelson has a rhythm. He's getting it going.
April in the real tournament.
In the big tournament.
Although New York was fun, I'm not going to lie.
Both free throws missed. Inside will be Nelson. Gives it off to Holloway. Aiden driving baseline now. A bounce pass to Cliff. Great pass to Nelson. Layup wouldn't go, but he got fouled, or they're going to call basket interference. It's going to be goaltending. Go back out high. Giving it off to James. He'll drive inside against Nelson. No good. Rebounded again by Grant. That's going to be his 6th board as Holloway comes the other direction. Holloway to the free throw line. Cut off. Gives it out. Youngblood 3. Bottom.
He has got such a quick and smooth release. Didn't need much space. Let it go and knocks down another 3 for the Tide.
14-2 run over the last 3.5 minutes. Alabama with its biggest advantage at 21. Missed the layup. Rebound control by the Dogs. Around the horn, they work it to Kane again, far side. His 3 attempt is missed. Rebound tipped into the hands of Nelson after the original deflection from Amori. Poked away from him by Nelson. Shot clock's at 4 as they try one from the right wing for 3. It's missed by Demery, and the rebound Nelson. Outlet pass goes to Holloway. Aiden into the front court, crosses over, gets underneath, plays through contact, and gets the reverse layup to go.
Well, he is so good, obviously shooting the ball, but much improved, taking it to the basket.
Deep 3, Holloway wouldn't go, and the rebound fought for. Knocked out of bounds, touched last by Georgia.
Points on Cliff Amori.
Driving in, they'll miss a shot because of the 5th block of the game by Nelson. It was Godfrey who had it blocked by Grant. Again, 5 blocks on the night for him. Outside to Sears. He'll go baseline. He'll drive in. He'll lay it up and in for 2. And it's 86-64. Nelson trying to split defenders. Had it stripped, got it back, and then got fouled.
Well, when you've got extended practice time, because you know that the coaches, but Alabama's come out and taking care of business here at home.
For 2.
Yeah, Big Z played for Kentucky last year and played really well against the Crimson Tide. They had the matchup they wanted, and he gets off to a nice start.
Nelson on the drive for Bama, gets inside, lays it in to answer back, and it's a 2-2 ball game. The far wing. Wagner giving it up to Thero at the elbow. He'll drive against Nelson. Stops, spins again. Shoots, misses. Rebounded by Grant. Bama will come the other way. Nice defense by Grant Nelson against Thero. Picks it up, fires it near side. Giving it off to Cliff. Cliff will pivot. He'll give it back to Sears, playing off of a screen. Sears drives at Big Z, then steps it back, gets into the lane, fires it back outside to Nelson. Nelson all the way to the rim, lays it up, got fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
Time gets fouled. Alabama will look for layups, and the
second attempt is up. That one rolls around and is good as well.
Back with 16 on the shot clock.
Trevin Brazil checks out of the game. Quick inbounds goes to Nelson. The catch and the layup on the feed from Jaron Stevenson. And out to break. Here comes Sears to Nelson. Driving down the lane. Fires it inside Stevenson. Reverse layup. No, but he's fouled between the circles. He goes to Wagner. Former Wildcat feeds it to John L. Davis. His 3 near side's a brick. Rebounded by Diabate. He'll run the other way. Mo hesitates, circles, hands it off to Philon. Over to Sears. Right wing. Deep 3. Bottom. Mercy. That one was from Rogers. The bank first 3 is good. And Alabama with a 13-6 lead with it by Holloway. And Aiden will bring it himself into the front court. Holloway driving right. Played through some contact. Gives it off to Nelson on the wing. He'll hand it off now to Youngblood. Let's fly from 3. Bottom. Another bank first 3-pointer. This one from Chris Youngblood. To be very successful on, if not second, third, sometimes fourth chance opportunities and keep them very much in this ball game. Bama will hold it for the final shot. The inbounds goes to Holloway at 15. Now it's down to 12. Holloway with it at 10. Holloway at 9. Holloway at 8 to Nelson at 7. Nelson looking, throwing it to Mo in the paint at 4. At 3, spinning at 2, shooting it at 1, scoring. Half will end, and Bama goes to the locker room with a 40-34 advantage. Mohamed Diabate, big, getting the bucket in the paint. 6. Amori with it between the circles to Sears. Mark will drive right side, gets to the block, needs help. Bounce pass to Nelson in the paint. Pump fake. Shot off the glass and in. The charity stripe, Arkansas 4 of 4. Neither team was in the bonus in the first half. Driving is Wagner. Puts it up. Had it blocked by Nelson. Picked up by Stevenson. Flips it to Grant, who will now bring it front court. Nelson working on the left sideline. Takes it to the corner. Picks it up. Fires the pass to Sears. Mark on the drive. Wraparound pass to Amori. He slams it home, and Alabama has its biggest lead, or matches it, at 10 points. 46-36 is our score with 17:54 to go. And time all out of bounds. We're upset because they didn't call a foul. But we do get the ball into Nelson. Had it blocked, and now a foul is whistled on Richmond. The line. Nelson's first attempt is perfect. Court. Bounce pass to Mo. Elbow extended near side, looking low, nothing there. Top of the arc, Holloway, 4-3, bottom. It's not a layup, but it's close when that guy's able to catch his feet and knock down the bank first three. Here comes Philon, ahead to Holloway, getting into the paint. He'll back it out to the top of the arc. Fires it down low, Nelson. Layup is good. Tide rolling, up by 19 with 13:10 to go. And forward for the Crimson Tide to Nelson, who pivots on the left wing, throws a lob, Cliff the flush, and that will quiet the crowd.
And that's why you call the timeout, to set up that set play. Alabama doesn't run a lot of set plays. They will after timeouts.
Part is just seen enough basketball, you know how it's going to work out ultimately. Sears with the basketball on the wing after the made free throw from the Hogs. Sears on the drive, hands it off to Nelson, flips it now to Holloway, to Nelson, driving in, lays it up, couldn't get it to go, but he got fouled. Nelson's first of 2. Up and good.
And attacking the rim offensively.
9 points, a couple of boards. Goes to Z, now to Davis. Launches a 3. That's short. Weak side rebound. Snatched by the Hogs. Underneath. Adu missed it. It's knocked away. Scramble. Bad looks. Outside Youngblood for 3. It's no good. Rebounded Nelson. Lays it up and in. It's up and in. Youngblood missed the 3, but Nelson caught the miss and then laid it in for 2. Rolled by the Longhorns. They've got it front court, 2 hour left. They work to Shedrick, driving right at Grant Nelson. Missed the layup as Nelson challenged him well. There's a scramble for a loose ball, and it's picked up by Stevenson for Alabama. Flips it ahead to Youngblood.
Some jumpers.
Longhorns work it in, finding Pope. He shoots too strong, but the weak side rebound is grabbed by Kaluma. Fight for the loose ball after his miss, and it's picked up by Clifford Amori, who gives it off to Sears. Mark hurries into the front court, stops on the wing, shoots a 3, knocks it home.
That really wasn't a foul.
No.
I
know why Texas is mad. I get it. He's giving ground the whole way. Bama works it inside. Philon lays it up. Goaltending will be called. Fires the pass to Trey Johnson. Now to Kaluma, who goes to the top of the arc. He'll pull up at the free throw line. His jumper is blocked by Nelson and grabbed by Amori, who a 5-point trip. Larry will fire it in the corner to Mack. He'll drive into the lane. Runner off the window, no good. Scramble for the loose ball. And again, Kent takes it away for the Horns. Johnson onto the right wing will feed it off. No look pass inside to Larry. Shot is up, got it back, threw it down, but it's a shot clock violation. And
line hit Kent right in the chest, but fortunately goes right out of bounds.
Inbounds, winds up in the hands of Nelson, lost it, got it back, and you talk about toughness. The elbow, stops and hands it off to Mark. Mark working against Mark Sears, misses badly on the jumper, and a foul's going to be called on Texas. 1 plus the bonus. Grant able to rattle that one in. I told you 50% from the field, offsetting the 9 turnovers that Alabama's committed, and both free throws good now. Backing it out beyond the arc. He'll bring it near side. He'll stop. He'll look right side. Nelson all alone in the corner. 3, bottom. Another bank first 3 for Bama. The Tide 6 of 10 from beyond the arc, and with a minute and a half to 45-31.
Alabama shooting 65% from the field.
Johnson fires a pass inside. Blocked by Amori and Nelson. Now the Tide works it ahead to Holloway. Aiden going down the lane. Has it knocked away and got fouled in the process.
Well, how about Grant Nelson doing the job on both ends of the floor? Got off to a slow start in this game, but had the tough finish through contact. midway through the first half, but since then he has been so good on both ends of the floor. He's got 7 points now, 3 rebounds. He and Cliff Amore combined for the block shot that started the Alabama fast break.
They work it right side to Trey Johnson. He'll dump it inside. Driving, shooting, falling in the process was Texas.
And then you see the replay from the other angle and you realize there wasn't contact up high.
Right. So Bama basketball. Stevenson in the corner. Left alone for 3. He hits another one. Alabama now 8 of 13 from bank first 3-point range. And the Tide bust this one open now 56-34. Pope on the drive to Shedrick to Trey Johnson, who throws a lob that's batted away by Nelson. Grant read it beautifully. 11, so be there for college game day. Whether you got tickets or not, we'd love to see you in town. Mark Sears will be there. And man, he was in there on that last play, laid it up and in for 2 more. Stevenson to Sears inside the arc, trying to drive the lane. Puts it up to the left hand. No good. Tip. No good for Alabama. Nelson able to rebound the miss, giving it off to Youngblood. Now to Sears. Right wing 3. Too strong. Rebound Nelson. Puts it up off the window. No, but he is fouled.
But a chance to go to the line because of the work on the offensive glass.
To say the least on the first, but it worked. Second one is up. That one's perfect.
A little smaller with Mo Diabate against Janai Broome. Broome's hit a couple of threes against this Alabama defense.
3 ball up and good by Chaney Johnson as the Tigers have knocked down 4 3-pointers here in the early going of this contest. Bama answering on the other end. Diabate couldn't get it to go, and they're going to say that Nelson touched it when the ball was in the cylinder. They'll review it at the next media timeout. Regardless. 16:05 we know is left in the half as the Tigers drive in. They lose it on the way up. Ball out of bounds. Possession belongs to the Crimson Tide, but simply by Auburn to put the lead back up to 7 at 23 to 15. Bama with the drive going downhill is Sears. Gives it off to Nelson, who drives in, lays it up, got it to go. A beautiful move from Grant, who will hand it off to Kelly for 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Amore. Cliff keeping Janai off the glass, and here's Holloway the other way for Bama. Aiden Holloway made a 3 a moment ago, now gives it off Nelson. Fakes a 3, driving, dishing. Stevenson, 3 ball. 2 for 2. 2 in a row for Alabama from bank first, 3-point range.
Great job by Grant Nelson. Had an open 3. He pump faked, drove the lane. The defense took 1 step toward him. That's why James Stevenson was open. And he can carry the ball. 2 turnovers for each team.
Holloway throws it to Nelson, facing Broome at the top of the arc. Nelson looking, hands it off Youngblood. Top of the arc 3, that's no good. Rebound into the post to Johnson. He'll back his way down against Nelson, getting into the paint, spinning it over him, missing badly. Rebound tip by Amore to Nelson.
19 from deep.
Cardwell with it, now to Pettiford. Pettiford goes left side to Kelly. Kelly will hesitate, drives in, lost it, ball knocked into the hands of Johnson on the left wing. He'll get cut off, hands it off to Cardwell. Had it stripped, and now they're going to call a foul. Grant Nelson. Nate Oates not happy with Pat Adams. And possession will stay with Auburn as Nelson picks up his first.
I thought it may have been close. It wasn't. What a great defensive play by Grant Nelson. I understand why Nate Oates is so frustrated. That was a heck of a defensive play.
Auburn basketball, top of the arc. They'll work it to Johnson, now on the wing to Baker Mazzara. Bama makes sure he doesn't get free. Now it's Broome driving into the paint. Spins wildly, shoots no good. Rebound to Diabate. If Bama can tie it or take its first lead with a 3. Mo with it, driving against Broome. Gets downhill, shot is up, and it's blocked on a great play, but knocked away into the hands of Nelson for the flush. And let's start over. We're tied at 65 with 7:55 to go.
And what a hustle play by Mo Diabate. Janai Broome got the defensive rebound.
Big miss there. It stays at an 8-point game. Bama the other way. Holloway giving it off to Nelson. Driving down the lane. Lays it up. That's basket interference. 5 to go. Tigers go to Broom. Now back to Jones. Wild shot. No good. Rebound fought for. Claimed by Nelson. And now we got a foul and a player down. Free throws missed by Broom. And here comes Nelson the other way for the Tide. Reverse layup good with 41 seconds to go. And
understand, but they've got to have answers. One of the things they do great on the offensive end is attack and get offensive rebounds. They only had 7 against Auburn, and they didn't play well. They only had 9 in the loss against Ole Miss.
This is a charged up arena, and the All-American, that's Mark Sears, takes it in. 2 wins by 24 points and 13, where they looked really good in the second half of both games.
And so one of the keys of Missouri on the defensive end is the physicality of their backcourt. They get a lot of steals, they're physical, they grab and hold and do a lot of things. Terrific pass to Nelson inside.
Mo Diabate into the game. Great feed. It's Nelson. Count the basket.
I looked at Grant when he was warming up. I said, hey, it feels warm. He goes, yeah. Compared to where I'm from, yes.
That has been half of their offense early on as Sears attacking the rim. He's got 6.
And I think Sears will recognize the fact that they're not attacking him when he drives the rim, just finishes play.
Marcus Allen underneath. Allen goes up. Missed it.
They get a couple baskets, all sudden down 12. Whittle this down to halftime.
Missouri through the first big right hook in the opening minutes of this game. Knocked Alabama down. Mitchell trying to keep the pivot foot. Does he? Yes, he does. 8 seconds on the timer. Perkins has got 4 assists today, by the way. Puts up the 3. Rebound down to Nelson. Monte, the sophomore from Queens, great last week in that win against Texas when Alabama scored 103. Today, little different story. They shot the ball really well as a team, but again, behind by double digits for the entirety of the first half, just about.
And keep an eye on the Alabama defense. It already looks like they have picked it up enough. Active hands, he is everywhere.
Sophomore, top 35 of the nation in steals. That pass was tipped, or pardon me, you can count that basket. 6. Mark Mitchell has bested him. Holloway sets the feed. Holloway throws in the 3.
Rebounded on the far side by the Cats, and Owe. He will run into the front court. He'll drive down the lane. Blocked out of bounds by Nelson as Grant did a great job hustling to the other end and got the block cleanly out of bounds. Yeah, it's a slam to give Kentucky a 20-9 lead. Nelson feeding it to Alabama's Mohamed Diabate, and he got hacked. Go wanted a foul, got no whistle, and the Cats run the other way. They'll give it off to Garrison, backing his way down on the block, stops, flips it way outside to Brea again. Brea to Garrison on the far wing. He'll work against Nelson, trying to pound his way inside, stops, steps through, and he walked. Traveling violation, good defense there by Nelson.
Gets it back, got to get going on both ends of the floor.
Nelson with it, top of the arc, looks to his right, Sears. Catch and shoot, 3 ball, we'll take our chances with that all night long. A bank first 3.
Shooting the ball, but it's not because they're not getting great looks. Another wide open look, this time Mark.
Great hustle, Nelson saving it for Alabama. Now here's Sears driving down the lane, off the window and in. Great move from Mark after the save from Nelson. It will be Owe. Fall-away jumper is no good as it hung on the rim 4 times, but it goes back into the hands of Owe. Drives in, blocked, batted around, out of bounds, touched last by Clifford Amore of Alabama the other way. Nelson to dribble the handoff, Philon gets it to the rim, hands it off. Cliff couldn't get it to go, but got fouled by Brea. 58-55. Bama the ball in the lead. Nelson top of the arc to Sears. He'll drive, gets into the paint. Quick pass. Tried to go to Amore, knocked out into the hands. Sears, 1-3.
That worked out.
Hey, Bama runs the other direction with Holloway. Aiden on the near wing, off of the screen. Holloway to Nelson, drives to the rim. Pump fake shot, it's good. It should have been the 5th on Chandler. Nelson, defended by Garrison, goes left. Now he's defended by Brea. He gets to the rim and he lays it in for 2. Actually, it's Noah Guardian. Now it's Nelson driving into the lane. Puts it up. It wouldn't go with the left hand, but he's fouled.
You see him on Kobe Brea.
Nelson gets 1 of 2. And feed from his guard and Kugel. Now they're working left side Matthews, and a delayed offensive foul is going to be whistled as Nelson got knocked to the deck.
So they're going to call that more often than not.
Cover to Kugel on the far wing. Drives, dishes into the paint. Matthews, leaner off the window, no good. Rebounded by Cliff. He had 14 the other night.
The wide open 3.
Matthews trying to answer, can't do it. Rebound snatched out of the air by Nelson. Hands it off to Mark. Sears, front court, crosses to his right, splits defenders down the lane. Look out for the train. Grant Nelson right down Main Street, throws it home. Timeout, Bulldogs. Hughes for the basketball, kicks it over onto the far wing. They'll throw it into the low post. It's batted away and stolen. Here comes Sears the other way. Mark driving the lane, stopping on the left block, backing it out to the wing, going baseline again, flips it over his head to Nelson. Now to Youngblood. Man, is it a fun day at the office.
Half.
All of them brought to you by Bank First as State goes inside, misses the layup. He's only got 4 points. 45-24, Bama with a lead. The lob to Cliff, and he throws it home. What a beautiful feed from Art Sears. Holloway running the other way. Holloway, little shake and bake move, gives it off to Sears. Mark getting hacked at by Harris. Mark driving, stopping, firing. Holloway, deep 3.
Well, you got to pick your poison. You had Chris Youngblood in the corner. Had to decide if you were going to guard Chris Youngblood, who's 4 for 5 from 3, or Aiden Holloway, the leading three-point percentage shooter in the SEC.
Some moisture on the floor. Inbounds goes in the corner, Youngblood. Back to Philon on the wing. Philon tried to force a pass to Nelson. It was stolen by State. They'll drive in, they'll lay it up, they'll miss. And then the rebound's batted around and controlled by Nelson. Omori back to Sears. Mark on the wing. Gives it over near side Nelson. Going to the rack. Able to finish for another big slam. Grant with 4.
Murphy able to hit a high degree of difficulty shot at the rim.
Holloway. Now Sears. So good when he's so good. 17 for Mark Sears. Himself feeds it to Youngblood. His turn. Too strong off the back iron. Rebound run down by Nelson. To Sears. To Holloway. Over to Youngblood. He'll let it go again. He'll make it this time.
Don't want to give him 2 opportunities. Alabama gets the offensive rebound.
Not enough, though, as Bama leads at 83-55. Nelson driving baseline. Reverse layup. Got it to go. What a move. Tight window there for Grant, but got it to drop. Now goes to the baseline. Spins in the lane. A bounce pass knocked away by Nelson.
To start for Tennessee, and Lanier has got all 7. Youngblood, contact, he is strong.
What a physical drive by Youngblood.
The iron unkind to Okpara there as Nelson goes to the baseline. He got hit in the face, and he's looking for some help. Diabate one-on-one with Gainey. Grabbed his rebound. That's a nice job, and Okpara had no interest in trying to commit a foul or block.
Alabama calls that action beast, B-E-A-S-T. They just have to be there on the catch with a kid like Holloway. He gets it in and out as quickly as any guard in this league.
Tell you one thing, he has one favorite. He's played for Auburn and Alabama, and I bet he can say that. Wear that uniform both schools.
You think they'll be waiting on him next week when we go to Auburn?
Everything about him. He has 829 wins. He gets one more, he catches John Calipari.
There's a play out of the break, and that worked beautifully. An alley-oop maybe to start Nelson.
So
Lake, North Dakota.
He played really well in their run last year to the Final Four.
He's got it again, trying to get busy in the paint. Yeah, he's now got 4.
Smart.
No doubt, because there was a mismatch. Yep. Ziegler was guarding Nelson initially, then they switched it out. Nelson still had the height advantage.
He took advantage of it right there. See, sometimes you get that one going on one basket, it gets you motivated.
Lanier, no. And he's got a little cold here lately.
And who came down with the rebound?
Nelson. Stevenson, too strong. Alabama. Sears is open. They find him. And he gets the friendly roll on the road.
Ravi, Alabama is getting 50% of their misses on the year.
Ziegler 3 assists, Sears 1 assist. Volunteers have made 1 of their last 7, make it 1 of 8, 1 of 9.
To lock in and defend and give themselves a chance to score off their defense.
Ziegler, Milicic, like Nelson, will that last 3 set him off? Meshack, 2 seconds, fires. Too strong.
Misses for Zakai Ziegler.
That basket has been very difficult for the teams to make free throws, as Nelson will draw the foul. Switching defense now has Nelson on Ziegler with 8 seconds on the clock. He's going to try again, looking for somebody. And that was terrific defense. Nelson never left his feet.
Nelson did a great job one-on-one. You would expect Ziegler to blow by him. He held his own and then comes up with the big block shot. Great possession defensively by Alabama, something we don't say that often. And they both can shoot the 3.
That ball was deflected by Okpara. Holloway nails it.
It is automatic. I'm telling you, Alabama off of an offensive rebound kick out those.
Plus, first lead since the first half, and Gainey's been the difference.
Remember we talked about it earlier.
Bad pass. And a foul on Meshack.
Games, top 10 teams at home. Motion, easy to guard. I mean, I could guard him if he's standing like that.
Blocked by Nelson. What a job by Nelson. They don't need a 3, even though they're down 3, as Gainey finds Okpara. No good. Rebound in traffic, Nelson.
Condon getting another touch on the low block, trying to back down Amori. Gets deep in the lane and kicks it out. Alabama, the #1 scoring team in the country. They're #1 in rebounds. Florida #3. Condon misses, and Phylon clears.
Really good block out there by Grant Nelson underneath. Alabama cannot afford. That's a turnover for a touchdown.
Florida 3rd in the country in fast break points. Phylon leaning in and drops that one home. Phylon will inbound underneath to a wide open Nelson with good position. On the road on Saturday, Florida will take on Ole Miss on Saturday. Final week of the regular season. SEC tournament starts middle of next week in Nashville. Top 4 get double buys. Both of these teams
rebounding, block shots, and also leads them in blue collar points. He's got
hard to tell exactly when it occurred. We showed you back on the bench, but not yet returned to the scorer's table. Florida ball down 2, 5 minutes to go here in the opening half. On the back cut, Klobuchar puts it up, misses in and out, and the rebound by Nelson.
Alabama's help side defense has been very active on those back cuts when they're top blocking.
What a great drive and finish by Nelson. Holloway with the find, and it's a 4-point Alabama lead. Thought about it, hesitates, now drives, attacks, good feed underneath, and the basket by Amori. Game, Florida in front. The floater in the paint off target from Youngblood.
Russell Shoals, Alabama, behind Reese Davis.
Richards 3, short. Meanwhile, Florida 14-5 now, fast break points over Alabama. Gators are the #3 fast break team in the country. Alabama's 28th. Condon underneath, got bumped. Condon throws it into the backcourt. And so
us yesterday that Phylon is playing so much harder. That's been a real difference. He leads this team in steals, but he's also talking about his leadership and what he brings to the culture. And Nate Oates said, I would hire LeBaron Phylon as an assistant. Maybe not right now. I don't think he should do it right now. He's too good of a player.
Sherrill with the basket gives Alabama a 2-point lead. Florida gets 4 guys back defensively. Sears on the baseline, can't connect, batted out by Nelson, and there's Phylon.
You can't grab it, tip it out so a teammate can get it.
Phylon lob, and Nelson met at the rim again, but that time didn't go up with a shot. He just came down with the ball and then scores to make it a 4-point game. The crowd wanted Nelson to take the three. Instead, he drives and spins, got Condon off his feet, and fouled. Here we touched on the fact that both still in contention. Richard, Condon got position underneath, and good defense by Nelson.
Florida in fast break points in this game.
They really have everything. Got a deep team as well. Battle tested. They've had some big wins on the road this year and trying to get another one. Up 12. Nelson spinning and scoring. Much needed defensive rebound by Diabate. What a wild shot by Youngblood. Wouldn't fall. The tip won't go either. Another chance. Bodies hit the floor. And this is going to go to Florida on the possession arrow.
For year.
21 points for Clayton. Trying to get his 7th game of 25 or more. Big hit by Phylon. A much needed 3 for Alabama. And Clayton look at a drive.
Got the switch.
Bounce inside. Condon triple team. Condon puts it up. No. Hauk had it. Lost it out of bounds. Alabama ball.
Bama ball. 2-2 ball game between Alabama and Auburn. Phylon bringing it front court. Takes it to the top of the arc and giving it off now to Nelson. Grant will look. He'll drive right. Takes it right at Broom. Set through. Shot is up. It's good. And he is fouled. An and one opportunity for Bama's Grant Nelson.
Alabama's taking it right at Janai Broom. The first 3 offensive possessions of the game. LeBaron Phylon wasn't able to finish at point-blank range. Chris Youngblood with the Euro step. This time, Grant Nelson goes inside the pump fake. Got Broom in the air, took the contact, and a chance for a 3-point play.
And good touch on that first shot. That was a good sign. We've been watching that the last few games, a little flat on the free throw attempts. That one seemed to have a little better legs to it. Alabama has matched the intensity early. That is for certain. On both ends of the floor. Can you sustain it for 40? Inside, Baker was
the country. Alabama taking what the defense is giving them and finishing at the rim.
Broom gives it off to Johnson. Spinning against Nelson. Stepping through. High out the window. No. Rebounded by Grant. Tigers will push it. Here's Pettiford with it against Sears. Rises. Fires again. Misses badly on the attempt. Rebound fought for. Controlled by Auburn. Back to Pettiford, who gets into the lane. Floater with the right hand. Rolls off. Rebound batted around. Picked up by Bama. Sears. Now ahead to Phylon. A bounce pass to Nelson. Grant going down the lane. Gets fouled as Bama basketball up 21-17. LeBaron Phylon front court. Giving it up to Nelson, top of the arc. He'll drive right at Broom. Lays it up and in for 2. Boy, they're going right at maybe the National Player of the Year and having a lot of success.
Yeah.
Here is Phylon stepping back for 3. It rolls off. No good. The rebound by Kelly. And the Tigers will push it the other way. They throw it down low to Broom, spinning against Diabate. Shot blocked out of the way on the help defense by Nelson. It goes out of bounds, and possession will stay with Auburn, but Grant Nelson with an emphatic block shot right there.
I tell you what we're seeing out of Grant Nelson that we haven't seen in a couple of weeks, and that is lift. He's getting up. We've seen him throw down a couple or get to the rim, get to the free throw line. And that time on the block shot, he just kept rising.
Post able to steal that possession, could do it. Now Nelson going in. And an and one as well. Grant Nelson fires it down on Dylan Cardwell and I believe Janai Broom. And Bama has made it a 27-21 lead and a chance for the and one here.
My goodness, Grant Nelson. What an incredible play. We talked about the lift that we haven't seen in maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, but Grant Nelson rose up above one of the best shot blockers in college basketball, took the contact, threw it down. He'll go to the line for an and one. They're going to look at it, but what a play by Grant Nelson. But the lift he has in this game on both ends of the floor is not something we've seen in a while. A great sign for Grant Nelson and this Alabama team.
Looking to his right, flips it over to Youngblood. Poked away, nearly stolen, but Mark got it back. Sears going baseline, cut off, stops, looks, Nelson in the corner. Lets it fly for 3, bottom. Another bank first 3 for the Crimson Tide. Alabama here in this first half, getting it done. 2 of 4 now from three-point range. Next whistle. Broom, top of the arc, thought about a three, now wants to back it down against Nelson. Calling for a clear out, gets it, has it, spinning, fall away shot, short, rebound, tip, Nelson another rebound, ahead to Philon, we're running right at him. LeBaron going to the rack, kicks it in the corner, Youngblood three,
Got the stop defense in the offense, and Nate Oates talked about it all week. He wants his team to push the pace. LeBaron Philon drew the defense. Chris Youngblood able to step into the corner three and knock it down.
Both. Here's Sears the other way with Bama up by 5. Sears driving, kicking it. Nelson, right side, three, bottom. Bama answers right back.
And Grant Nelson is back. Great to see him playing with so much confidence on the offensive end.
Here is Philon, and a whistle away from the basketball is going to be against the Tigers. Nelson hits the first. Philon hesitates down the lane, flips it back out. Nelson fakes a three, gets into the lane, lays it up. No, but he is fouled. That's going to be.
Danny Johnson's been playing great basketball.
As indeed, as 1 of 2 is the trip to the line for Nelson. Jones trying to drive against Sears, steps back, deep three, rattles out, no good. Rebound tipped and controlled by Philon. Bama will push it. LeBaron weaving through traffic, gets it into the front court. Philon working to his right, spinning left, double team, works away from it. Philon near side Nelson. Grant on the drive, slips, stops, needs help. Looking, gives it off, near side. Philon in the paint, jump stop, bounce pass to Cliff, lays it up and in for 2. Here's with the basketball. Jones with it out high, gives it off to Johnson, now far side Broom, trying to back his way down, double team, threw it away, fight for the loose ball, and getting hit in the face by Auburn was Youngblood. It was Chad Baker-Mazzara who hit Youngblood in the eye, I believe.
Listen, he got hit
previous
hard
action
in the face. And at first look, and listen, Chad Baker-Mazzara has had his issues with getting kicked out of games and questionable intention. I don't think he had any bad intent on that.
Yeah,
I just thought it was
two guys going for a ball.
Aggressive follow through that hit Chris Youngblood hard in the face, but I just thought that was a good hard basketball play that unfortunately hit Chris Youngblood in the face.
With a cut above his eye, he's got a Band-Aid on, maybe a stitch or two. And with Bama up 1, he's on the floor with 11:38 to play. Baker-Mazzara misses the runner in the lane. Rebound claimed by Bama. Here comes Holloway, left side, three, bottom. That will quiet the crowd, and a timeout on the floor as Chad Baker-Mazzara is apparently in some pain.
Fact that Alabama's been there 16 times to Auburn 7.
Pettiford, a deep contested three, rims out no good. Tipped out long by Mo into the. Trying to make it a 2-point game. Free throw is up, and it's missed, and the rebound's tipped into the hands of Nelson. Here is Philon again to Nelson. Hands it back to LeBaron. Playing off the screen from Grant. Drives down the lane. Back he goes to Cliff. Hands it off to Sears. Mark going baseline. Looks, fires. Nelson for 3 in the lead. Bottom! 77-76 Bama. A huge bank first three. Grant Nelson's first field goal of the second half gives Bama a 77-76 lead. 2:54 to go. Enders takes a dribble, gives a bounce pass to Nelson, top of the arc. Grant with his back to the bucket will go to his left. He'll drive down the lane against Broom. He'll spin. He'll pump fake. He'll shoot. He'll score. Grant Nelson, 19 points now for the Tide. And Alabama, with 1:55 to go, leads it by 2. Check it, it's 21 now for Nelson as Bama leads by a bucket.
And they shoot it with a couple of seconds left, giving themselves a chance for an offensive rebound.
Pettiford right side with the dribble, being defended by Holloway. Pettiford still with it, gives it off to Broom on the right wing. Broom at 7 to shoot, at 6, Broom at 5, at 4, at 3, at 2. Fall away jumper, no. Rebound claimed by Bama. Mo will launch it, it's deflected out of bounds, and why not? We're headed to overtime. The regular season is not over yet. 5 more minutes to play at least. 79-79 is your score. Back after this 1 minute
network timeouts. Fouls. Pettiford with the basketball out at the timeline left side. Takes it to the top of the arc. Spins away from Mark. Double team for a moment. Drives in. High floater no. Reba Lane gets cut off. Stops. Spins. Shoots. And misses. Rebounded Nelson.
There hasn't been close on many, but knocked down a big one right there.
Sears to answer. No good. Long rebound. Back to Mark. Over on the wing. Phylon for three. No. Rebound Nelson. Pop fake shot. Yes. What a made. What a play. Grant Nelson. Bama by one with 1:15 to go. Could it possibly be an unbelievable script? Phylon will bring it ahead with 12, with 11. Phylon, front court at 10, 9. Phylon at 7, Phylon at 6, Phylon at 5. Over to Sears at 3, Sears at 2, at 1 for the win. Ball game, ball game, ball game. Bama wins.
Oh my goodness, Mark Sears with the floater at the buzzer to beat Auburn.
Shot is being reviewed.
I think he got it off. They're going to review it. But Mark Sears, the hero in this game. Nate Oates calls a dribble handoff. The floater just before the shot clock buzzer. The officials are reviewing it right now.
Mark Christopher Sears hit what we believe to be the game winner. After further review, it's good. After further review, let's get out of here. Alabama a winner. 93-91 is your final in overtime. And the Tide rises and beats top-ranked Auburn in the regular season finale. His second board, and the Tide will come the other way. Sears touching it for the first time. Driving underneath the basket, flips it out. Phylon. Now to Nelson, driving to the lane. The window, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Kentucky. Crimson Tide. Grant's first is up, and it is good.
In the last regular season game in Auburn.
Austin gives it to Youngblood. Now to Nelson. Grant on the drive. Gets to the block. Off the window and in. Also, Aiden Holloway on the floor. They get it to Stevenson. Drives in. Lays it up and got it to go, and he is fouled. Stops between the circles. Feeds it over near side. They'll get it in the hands of Oway. Lost the handle. Here comes Nelson. He will flip it over to Holloway. Right side. Steps into a three. Too strong. Garrison dribbling to his left, feeds it off to Oway. Oway into the paint. Teardrop is up. He misses that one. Rebounded by Stevenson, and Jaron will push it ahead. Gives it off Phylon. To the rack. Lays it up. Wouldn't go, but got fouled. Had 12 remaining in the first half. Bama has led by as many as 9. Sears with the basketball. Working out top of the arc. Hesitates. Goes left. Now goes right, behind the back with a dribble. Kicks it in the corner. Nelson, three, bottom. Will play 7.5 minutes. Bama getting it to Nelson, who hands it off to Sears. Mark will drive and dish it back to Youngblood. Three, good. Bama front court. Driving, Phylon into the paint, stopping, kicking it back out to Darion, who hands it off to Holloway. Bounce pass to Darion. He's in the paint. He will spin to his right. Jump hook, had it stripped. He'll tip it into the hands of Stevenson. Jaron working. Down to Nelson. Thought about a three. To Jaron. He lets it fly. Bottom.
A lot of threes, but they get them off penetration. You have to guard the ball, keep them out of the lane. And Martin just lost the handle. And Phylon, the freshman who was so good in the quarterfinal win yesterday over Kentucky. The assist on the basket by Grant Nelson. Boy, how about
Drew two defenders, made the right pass, and easy bucket for Florida.
An easy bucket for Grant Nelson, left alone to the left wing. He makes the first three of the game for the Tide, and Bama leads at 9-6 with 17:27 to go in the half. Here's Clayton the other way for the Gators. Into the paint, shot blocked by Cliff, picked up by Grant, behind the back dribble, getting it front court. He'll whip a pass over to Youngblood for three.
And how about Grant Nelson? Knocks down the three on the previous possession, gets the defensive rebound, the behind-the-back dribble, looking like a 6'11 point guard, finds Chris Youngblood in rhythm.
the catch under the basket, and he gets it out to Martin. Condon, just a sophomore as well, from Perth, Australia. Martin, the lob for Condon. Really caught under the basket, blocked from behind and blocked again. And it'll be Alabama ball. A couple of times when this happened, got a chance to play and came in and started knocking down shots. Kind of just forced his way into the rotation. They had some
running. His LeBaron gets it front court. Hesitates, goes left, hesitates again. Looks, goes outside to Nelson. Grant, no hesitation. And look out. Throws it home on Condon, who has been schooled on 3 straight trips down the floor by the Tide.
My goodness, Grant Nelson just kept rising.
And Condon screened off the help defense again.
Nelson with the running reverse. Condon asking for the ball and an offensive foul. Grant Nelson defending, and Condon has picked up number 2.
And Alabama leads it by 4, and here comes Grant Nelson. Also, Chris Youngblood and Aiden Holloway as Phylon, Reed, and Stevenson sit down.
Nate Oates said before the game, Grant Nelson is available. If needed, he is needed. And take the contact.
Free throw up, no good for Sherrill, and the rebound controlled by RMU, but Nelson deflected it, and Bama takes it away. By Holloway near midcourt. Holloway off the screen, driving, getting into the lane, throws a lob, and Grant throws it down, and Bama regains the lead. 6:20 to go. Omajafo driving, walk. They didn't call it, now they do. Bring it ahead to Holloway. Youngblood, 3, no. Weak side rebound, Nelson, and he got held. Points, 5 rebounds, but he misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and a rebounding foul is going to be called on RMU.
And it was Grant Nelson fighting for the offensive rebound, putting the pressure on Robert Morris. Grant Nelson making a difference in this game.
2 1-and-1s. Here's Woods with it now. Driving into the paint. Stopping. Off balance shot. No good. Rebounded by Nelson. On the wing. Picks up the dribble. Needs help. Gives it outside to Smith. Working against Sears. Drives in. Hands it off. They'll throw a bounce pass. Full Garris. Jumper. 15 feet away. No good. Looks. Finds Nelson. Fakes a 3 in the corner. Drives to the rack and throws it home. He's fine.
In Alabama's favor.
Second one, got a lot of iron, but settled through the net. Finds it in the corner, gets it on the wing. Sears for 3, no good. Long rebound to Grant. Now to Youngblood, squares up, 3, bottom. Mike gets cut off by Nelson. A bounce pass going inside. Shot blocked by Grant. Tried to save it. It goes off the leg of Miguel. Rebound again by Nelson, and Bama will come the other way. Grant left alone. Spots up, 3, bottom. Looks like postseason Grant Nelson, doesn't it?
That is a good sign.
Or 3 to be determined later, but we'll take it at the moment. Morauskas trying to work against Nelson in the low post. Spins, tries up and under, spins again. Shot short, and Nelson, a great job snatching the air ball.
Nate Oates able to leave him on the bench, not to get him in any further foul trouble.
Sears playing less than 12 minutes. Phylon driving in, high off the glass, no. Rebounded Grant, yes, on the putback for 2. Salonis. Phylon right on his hip. Marshallonis checks out the shot clock, sees that it's now at 10. He'll start his attack at 9, at 8, at 7. Marshallonis at 6. Looks, fires it down low. The big man shot attempt blocked by Mo. Saved by Diabate. 5 seconds. 4. Ahead to Nelson at 3. At 2. At 1. It wouldn't go, but he's fouled. Grant Nelson will go to the line. Try to hit this one. Free throw is up. Friendly roll. Sears with the basketball to Phylon. LeBaron right side. Down low to Nelson. Hands it off the cliff. The big left-handed dunk. Even after makes. Free throw.
But even after that make, Mark Sears pushing the issue, getting it to Grant.
Into it for the underdog. Sears, the bounce pass to Nelson. Now to Mo. Left alone. Another 3. Bottom.
Grant at the line trying to extend it.
Nelson's first free throw. Back in form now as that one is up and good. He outside Morauskas. Stopping, handing it off. Marshallonis threw it away. Picked up Phylon. We got numbers. Here comes LeBaron. Lob to Grant for 2. Oh, mercy. Alabama 72, St. Mary 60 with 5:12 remaining. Don't foul him. They throw it to Saxon. He'll spin in the lane. He'll stop. He'll hand it off. It's batted around. It's taken away. Youngblood got it. Mag, an up and under move. Picks it up with the right hand. No. Long rebound tipped out. Grabbed by Nelson. Here comes Grant front court, looking down the lane, drives in, lays it up, got it to go, and Bama gets on the board first. Run after Bama took the early advantage. Nelson on the drive, lays it up and hung on the rim. That's basket interference as Traore tries to back his way down against Nelson. Puts his head in the chest of Grant, couldn't get the shot to go. Cliff into the hands of Darion. Beautiful bounce pass ahead to Grant for the flush. What a great feed from Darion Reed. A 32-30 Alabama advantage. Sears giving it off to Grant. Nelson back to Mark. Mark on the right wing, left alone, shoots a three, hits another one.
That was well defended by Mag, but Mark able to knock it down.
And a walk by BYU. Bring it ahead, 10-9. Hall still with it at 8, at 7. He'll go left and hand it off to Dimon. He'll throw it into the corner. Catch and shoot, blocked by Nelson. He gives it off to Mark, being hounded by Mag. Mark over to Youngblood. Catch and shoot, 3, no good. Long rebound, tipped out to Mark, all alone. Bottom.
Knocks down another one.
13th made 3 of the game for Bama. Missed 3 by Dimon. Rebounded by Grant. Bounce past the Mark, and we're running. Here comes the Tide. Sears, front court. Sears off a screen. Sears looking for Cliff. Can't get it to him. To Grant. To Mark. To Grant. The lob. Off the flush.
Possession going, but gets it back.
Cato was the man called for the foul. That's his second. He almost got called for a third there, but Youngblood tries the 3, too strong. Rebound tipped out. Grant snares it. Looking, gets it to Nelson. Gets it back to Phylon. He'll try one. Way too strong. Long rebound tipped out. Grant gets it to Holloway. Do it, baby. Woo! Scorching hot. Needs help, fires the pass over to Nell. Nell stepping back at 10. Throws up a wild shot. It's an air ball. And it's saved by BYU, but into the hands of Bama. Now to Holloway, near side, heat check. Oh, and it hadn't come down at all. Dimon with 9:18 to go. Dimon top of the arc for 3, no good. Long rebound saved by the Cougars into the hands of Nelson. Grant will flip it ahead. LeBaron to Chris, layup, good.
Decision inside the key.
Cooper Flag dancing with Grant Nelson. He draws the big assignment tonight. And that's going to be a double dribble. Guards Nelson on the other end as well. Sears into the action with Amore. Kick it. Ball movement. Good this time down. Nelson leaves it up top. Ooh, nice finish.
No fear. Not afraid of the moment, Brian.
LeBaron, Phylon. James, a threat from the corner, and a big body driving. Runs into traffic. 3 number 2s and 1-3. Nelson springs free. A breakdown defensively for Duke. Alabama cashes one in. Answering a Duke 12-3 run. After Duke had built it to a 13-point lead, Grant Nelson, a rim run, and he fires it down. And this Alabama crowd on its feet. That's at the last shot here. Sears turns the corner. Hot pass, Nelson, nice catch and a finish. In some now watch. Flag gets a step. Oh, Grant Nelson meets him at the apex. What a block. 3-pointer, good. Sears finally gets loose for 1.
And 2 outstanding defensive plays, one by Malawatch, but then Grant Nelson getting back, taking that dunk away, and that initiated a much-needed fast break, more importantly, a much-needed 3 by Mark Sears.
Hugh back.
Well, it's the defense first. Grant Nelson, not tonight, young fella.
Easy bucket for James. Knipple did the hard work there.
Yeah, perfect timing on the cut, though. Too soon, you don't get it. Too late. Again, it's not there.
Inside, Diabate blocked. No, it's going to be a goaltend. So going to be 2 top seeds to advance tonight. Much different story than last year for Duke. They got to the Elite 8. They lost to NC State. Allie LaForce, John Shire said it was the worst 13 minutes of their season. And as Nelson steals it and lays it in. Tyrese Proctor went the first 2 games of this NCAA tournament. Missed just 2 3-pointers. Made 13